What's up, everybody? Welcome to No Life Till Metal. My name is Scott Waters, and this is going to be part 6, I believe, in my ongoing Christian metal focus. Bands who, have Christian-based lyrics. Frankly, I don't think that Christian metal should be a genre unto itself because it's not a genre. You have thrash metal, you have death metal, you have heavy metal, you have whatever. That's the style of music it is. However, there's obviously bands who have those, Christian-based or faith-based or biblical-based lyrics, and that's kind of what this focuses on, bands of that nature. So I'm going to start it off with this one is going to be an additional to part 1, where I was showing mostly traditional heavy metal bands. First off, I'm going to show a band called Faith Factor. And this album was on Retroactive Records from 2008, I believe. It's not bad with years sometimes. But this is just straightforward heavy metal. This album kind of reminds me of what, the first time I heard, Fate's Warning, Spectre Within, or Virgin Steel's Guardians of the Flame, or even early Hellstar. It kind of has that feel to it, that's just the galloping heavy metal with the soaring vocals. And vocalist on this album is Ski, who is more known for his this underground cult release from Deadly Blessing. And there is Ski in the middle there. However, Ski does not look like that anymore. He no longer has those long blonde locks. He now is sporting a more Priest Rob Halford look. There he is right there on the end. But yeah, like I said, just fantastic, straightforward heavy metal from these guys. Highly recommended. And I'm going to throw a real quick clip in of the very song 2. Let's put Keep It True in there. Check it out.
We come across the sea, God's metal ministry, from the land of the home and the brave. Lie in the spirit, and more ways than one.
So there you go, that's Keep It True from Faith Factor. Like I said, available on Retroactive Records. I'm fairly sure this one's still available, you can still get it. But it has that retro 80s sound. If you're into 80s metal, you can't go wrong with Faith Factor. Next up is a band called Crucifer. Now, first thing you notice about this is awesome cover artwork by Rodney Matthews. And honestly, that's what attracted me to this band at first. I saw this in some mail order catalog, something like that, and I saw that Rodney Matthews cover art, and I had to check it out. I like everything Rodney Matthews has done. He's just done some fantastic artwork. For bands like, Asia, Diamond Head, Seventh Angel, Detritus, among many, many, many others. So, great artwork, and a good album on top of it. It's actually what is playing in the background right now. Straightforward, riff-driven, mid-paced heavy metal. Kind of has a, that big new wave of British heavy metal vibe from the early 80s, from 80 to 83, somewhere in that range. Not in the heavier, faster Venom or Raven style. More in the mid-paced stuff like Diamond Head, or I'm trying to think who else they kind of sound like. I don't know. Just listen. Just riff-driven heavy metal from Crucifer. Okay, next up is an American band called Final Acts, and this is the retroactive CD repressing, and I believe this album came out originally in 1989. It's called Beyond Hell's Gates. I also have a vinyl repressing, which I didn't grab, but it's right here. And this is just fantastic stuff. Guitarist Bill Mention, who has been in several other bands, one of his more well-known bands called Titanic, with Robert Sweet playing drums for him of Striper fame. And this is just heavy stuff, right around the Judas Priest kind of style. Not that it's a clone of Judas Priest whatsoever. Final Acts have their own style. Let me see if I can get away with playing a little clip of Baptized in Blood by...
Till my lungs bleed, just to praise His name. I'll shout and make a loud noise, show you I'm not ashamed. I will lift my head high, bow down on my knees. I will praise the King of Kings, see is all I need.
you go. Baptized in Blood by Final Axe. I'm not sure if this CD is still available. This was a limited edition of only 1,000 units from back, when was this released? Back in the early 2000s, I believe, 2005. So I'm pretty sure this is out of print, but I think it's been repressed with different covers over the years. So just see if you can find a copy of Final Axe, Baptized in Blood, if you're looking for it, either on CD or on vinyl. So there you go, Final Axe. This next band is another American band on Noise Records, and this is Zaxxas, Z-A-X-A-S. And I believe this is the only full-length album that they put out, but they did record some demo material. This album happens to be autographed by the band. And this is, I would describe this as kind of like Metal Church meets Dio. Especially vocalist, kind of has that Dio-esque style to his voice. It's very dramatic and almost bordering on gothic. Not goth rock, but gothic like Dio had that gothic sound. And just fantastic power metal, or American heavy metal, whatever you want to call it. Not keyboard driven, not Dungeons and Dragons style power metal, American heavy metal. Like I said, Metal Church, with Dio on vocals. So I'm pretty sure if I play a clip of this, I may get tagged, but let's give it a shot anyway. This is a song called Mr. Primetime. So there you go, as a little clip of Zaxxas and Mr. Primetime. Next up, a band from Pennsylvania. This is a very evangelical band who want to share their faith with people. Very open about it in both their song lyrics, and if you go see a Sardonyx concert, you're going to hear the gospel, because these guys are hardcore. And I love this band. A big influence on me early on when Ultimatum started playing. Tom Denlinger, their singer, has a clean style of singing. And then there's Chuck, their bass player, and Rod, their guitar player, and Michael's their drummer. Think about it for a second. This was actually their first and only full-length release. They released a tape before this that was just a demo tape, 4-song demo tape. This album has been released with a different cover, and then they released another EP many years later with just Tom, the only original member of the band, left. And I may even have that behind me here somewhere, Sardonyx. Yeah. So here's the CD reissue with actually a far better cover. This is Majestic Serenity. This is a repressing on Retroactive Records, and they do have an upgraded version of the original cover on the inside, as well as that first demo, which was called Rebel of Reason. So I'm sure you can find this copy. This is the original copy of it, and then might as well just show the other album too. They actually had a more progressive album they released several years later in the 2000s called, what was it called? Linear Progression. So there you go. That's Sardonyx, but I want to throw a clip in real quick at Sardonyx too. Let's see, my favorite song by them. A little hard to pick one. I'm really, like I said, huge fan of this band, but I'm going to throw in a clip of Puppet of Beauty. So there you go, that's Puppet of Beauty by Sardonyx, Pennsylvania-based heavy metal band. This next band kind of reminds me of almost speed metal at times, but very melodic, very progressive, fantastic guitar solos and soaring vocals. Kind of remind me of like Steel Prophet or Hellstar or even Sacred Warrior. This is Scarlet Rain. Theater Humanitarian, I believe, is the name of the album. And this will be from 1990, I believe. Originally released on vinyl. I think this CD pressing, which is pretty rare in itself, could have been from the mid-2000s. Regardless, it's hard to find in any fashion. I only have the CD. I'd love to have this one on vinyl. Great stuff. Matter of fact, let me just throw a clip in so you can check these guys out as well. So there you go, a little Scarlet Rain. I want to keep this going, so I'm only going to show 10 on this one. This is another straightforward heavy metal band, a little more raw, a little more biting band from Australia. This band kind of mixes early Iron Maiden with Manowar. This is Light Force. And of course, people know who Light Force are. This is the band that eventually became Mortification. But before they became a thrash death metal band, there was this, heavily influenced by early Paul Di'Anno era Iron Maiden. The bass playing is definitely Steve Harris, influenced, as well as Joey DeMaio from Manowar. I can kind of hear a little bit of that, both of those in here. This is their first full-length album. They had released some stuff before this and after it, but I believe this is the only full-length album they had. This is on the Pure Metal label. I do have this one on vinyl and CD, and let's see if I should have just pulled them all out to show them, but Light Force, there we go. This is their, it's a CD version of their very first demo called Battle Zone. And then there's, this is the Best of Light Force, Mortification's Beginnings. And I think I have one other one by them as well. Yeah, nope, that's not them. Yep, there it is. This is Light Force 1986-1989, kind of a compilation of demos. This has their 1988 Mystical Thieves album in full. It's got 1987 Battle Zone album and 1986 self-titled demo. So there you go, Light Force. Not going to play a clip of them. If you want to hear Light Force, go ahead and do a quick search on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find them somewhere. This next band is from Rochester, New York. Straightforward heavy metal, a little more melodic than some of the other stuff I showed, kind of like early Dokken. This is Holy Saint. Chris Brooks, their vocalist, who passed away several years ago. These guys are really good friends of mine. I met them when I was living in Rochester. Actually ended up designing the logo that you see right there for them, and laid out the very raw-looking first demo that came out before this, which was self-titled as well. No, Sound the Alarm. The first demo was called Sound the Alarm. That would have been 1987. This, I believe, was like 1989 when this was recorded, and I think it was released on cassette only in 1990. Then around 2005, this bootleg was released by Retrospect. I have spoken to some of the band members, and this was not officially released, and it was not officially licensed, but it was released, so I had to get a copy from Retrospect. Retrospect and Retroactive, two totally different labels, by the way, since I've used both names in this video. Alright, so let me, I'm pretty sure I get away with throwing a little track of those guys in here. I'm going to throw in, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll throw a song in right there. So there you go, Rochester-based Holy Saint. Next up, this band's a little faster, a little heavier, a little more closer to your speed metal sound. Some people even call them a thrash band. I don't think they are. I call them a progressive heavy metal band. This is Antithesis. That was a mouthful. Antithesis, this being their first album. They actually released 3 albums, all of which I have, all of which I think are fantastic. But this album here happens to be my favorite from them. And like I said, very progressive, very technical sounding, but still retaining melody and harmony, still heavy metal. I'm going to go ahead and definitely throw a clip of this in here to check out. So there you go, that's Antithesis. Melodic, progressive, technical, speed, heavy metal. The last album I'm going to show is by a band some people probably know. There was a band in the 80s, early 90s called Vengeance Rising. The original Vengeance Rising split, Roger Martinez taking the name and doing his thing, the rest of the other 4 members going off and doing Die Happy. And this was their first release on Intense Records. This one happens to be autographed by the whole band. And then the vocalist for this band is Robin Kyle Basari, who also sang with Red Sea and several other bands. The second album that they released after this one, ended up being more like a Badlands sounding one, whereas this is just pure heavy metal. Has a bit of that thrash metal vibe still, like Once Dead era Vengeance Rising, you know. A little bit of groove, lots of heaviness. Unfortunately, I cannot play a clip of this because it's on the Intense label, and anything from Frontline I get tagged on in my videos, and they will not give me permission to use their stuff, so I won't be able to play a clip. But check out Die Happy, great stuff, fantastic vocals. Think Vengeance Rising meets Deep Purple. That's kind of what you get with this. And I know for a fact that the main songwriter on this album, Doug Thiem, is a huge Deep Purple and Black Sabbath fan. So you're going to get a lot of that on this album. So yeah, right there, great album from them. A couple of these songs actually were supposed to be on the next Vengeance album, but the vocal melodies are totally different from what you would have received on, you know, Vengeance. So that's it. I believe that's 10. So there's 10 heavy metal Christian-based albums to check out in my next edition of Christian Metal Focus. Hope you enjoyed that. I will be showing more. I plan on doing maybe a power metal video in the future, classic hard rock, 70s style one in the future, and even maybe a progressive rock. So I will continue doing these as long as people dig them. If you like it, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Let me know what you know of these releases. If you never heard of them, check them out. That's it. Talk to you later. God bless. Stay strong.